that you don't nail one of the large competitor down the road, not too far, just a hint, I'm not gonna give names. 10 years ago, their installers fired a nail, into the frame and the glass cracked, and I threw him a bone and I gave him another skylight. And we have in the disclaimer that sometimes glass can crack, and if it does, I'll help you out with that. I'll give you a new one.
But it's not written.
I'll get you the warranty. It's in the fine print, but that's. I'll say this because we're talking about warranties. I've been doing this since 2012, and I'll round up. It's a little less than that, but I'm averaging about 7,000 skylights sold to lumber yards and roofing suppliers from Vicksburg to Thompson, Georgia. So do the math. Let's just say over 80,000 skylights. And I've had, in that time, I've had one glass crack, and I've had 3 failures with the flashing, but it was really more towards the glass not being sealed. And it was during the summer of 2020 when we actually had, and some of y'all are old enough, NFL went on strike and you had scabs, the replacements. We had scabs at the plant, so to speak, and they didn't do a great job. But I had 2 that year, and it was because of the glass.
So you have a 99% success rate.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So you can feel confident telling the homeowner if they ask what's covered in the warranty.
Yeah.
20 years, seal failure.
Yeah,
it's
and
so
you'll know
rare that the glass ever breaks.
And install error, of course, right? Like or I guess not an install error, that would be an installer. No installer.
If there's a Velux fault, we'll take care of it for sure. Okay. Our glass, because you were asked a very simple generic question that's important. Our glass is dual pane filled with argon gas. So it's tinted and insulated. My competitors, everybody does that too. If you want, and I mentioned this before, our glass comes from Cardinal.
Okay, so it's 366.
There you go.
Yep.
So you know that. Their plant is a half mile down from that massive Buford High School football stadium. So there's a dozen plants in the U.S. We get our glass from Cardinal.
It's amazing glass.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a certain percentage of argon that you?
I wouldn't know that. I could get that answer for you, but that's the first time someone's asked me the percentage of argon. But it's low E 366.
Fill it until full.
So it's tinted. So for example, my local competition is low E.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Bare bones.
You got low E on it?
Yeah.
It's
low E
366. It comes with low E. Yeah.
So it's
What's 366?
good question. Hold on, pause, and we'll tell you right here. So it's tinted. To keep it simple, it's tinted, say, 3 times over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you get glass from the plant, it runs the line is about, say, 300 yards long. Okay, and it's a conveyor belt, and it's about this high off the ground, and it's 300, and there's silver bars underneath the conveyor belt, big like Fort Knox, but it's silver and it's this wide. Above right here is a light, and this is science. So, hey, Brian, and I'm still learning about it too, and I've been doing it a long time. Light goes through the glass, bounces off the silver, and the reflected light off the silver hits the glass. And it's doing this for 300 yards. So by the time the glass comes off the line, it's already darkened, so to speak. Okay, so 366. So low E would be something like 180. Okay, and then the next step up from 2000 to 2010 was 272. And then in 2010, we shipped over to Cardinal's 366. 3 means it's triple coated, okay, and 66 essentially means, and it's a little less than that, 65%. It's only bringing in 65% of the daylight, yet it's blocking out 98% of the UV rays.
Okay.
That's why when you put a glass skylight on prior to 2000 and your sofa faded in the sunlight, is because it wasn't. So we're way past that now. So like from,
It's some of the best glass you can get,
yeah,
best energy efficiency.
yes.
It keeps the UV light, the ultraviolet light, all that stuff out.
And frankly, in the South, everybody should have a blind on it, just because we actually had a pretty decent summer where it wasn't bad, but like, you know, June, July, August, September, when it's over 90 degrees and you have 3 in the living room and everybody goes to work and it's gonna be 95 that day, we'll lower the shades, because inside the double pleated shade there's I can't call it a radiant barrier, but it's got foil on it. So it's super energy efficient. It blocks out, like the lady in Huntsville the other day, she's like, what's the it's all subjective, but I was like, it's gonna block out at least 95% of the light, maybe more. Okay, but when you lower this all the way, any sunlight that gets through is through the cracks, and it's nothing.
Well, it's also an insulating factor.
There's
So
foil in there? I'm
Okay.
sorry to cut
Yeah,
you off.
something like, yeah. It's a
So,
foil.
so think about it like this: the way the window insulates is it's going to block out not just the sunlight but the heat, right? So in the summer, it's not like, let's say they had a like a little sunroom area, and they had skylights in there. The skylights are not going to increase the temperature of that sunroom to 100 and something degrees. And by the time you put those shades down, you might as well not even have the skylight. It's like having pure sheetrock there. Mm-hmm. So it's an insulating factor. It's not going to let it get really, really cold in the winter. It's not going to let it get really, really hot in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So we came to the United States, I'll keep it a simple number, but it was a 75. The plant where all the skylights come from is in Greenwood, South Carolina. In SEC terms, that's in between Columbia and Athens. We've been there since '79. It's a big plant. We've got over 500 people that work there, and one shift, but it's like 7 to 5 every day. All the skylights and sun tunnels that come out of there supply from Anchorage, Alaska down to Key West. We even do the Caribbean, and that product also goes to Australia and New Zealand. In Europe, we've got almost a dozen plants because it's very common in Europe for a variety of reasons. But I'll tell you this because I got to go to Europe for a week and a half this summer in southern Germany and Austria, and every home has skylights in it. Over there, they're roof windows. The difference about roof window, because the reason Velux became, and I'll go back as I said shrimp earlier, so I'll do a little Forrest Gump thing. You remember when Forrest Gump hit it big in the movie? When he survived the hurricane, and he was the only shrimper left? Well, and we started during World War II in Denmark, and at the end of the war, there are no Alpharettas, so to speak, in Europe. There's Paris, Berlin. I mean, it's a big city. Mm-hmm. Where I'm going with this is you have the grandkids, the parents, and then the grandparents kicked upstairs into the attic. They all lived in the same building, and being silly about it, but the grandparents in the attic, they had to make a living space out of it, so they're dropping roof windows in.
Is it like the ones that you can open and
Yes.
step out into a? Oh,
That's right. That's a roof
okay.
window. So if I tell people in Europe I sell skylights, they're like, "What's a skylight?" So a roof window is basically a skylight that you can touch and open, and there's no chain on it. You can actually flip the glass around and clean the glass from the inside, from the outside, flip it back over. And it's got, I call it a pull-up bar, where you can just, on the inside, you can pull the bar down, and there's a cover. So from a side view, if this is the roof window, there's a cover on the top of it. Goes up about like 2 inches, where if you pull it down on the inside, the vent flap opens. So if it's ever raining, water's not going to get in there because it's covered, but it's a way to bring in air. So the other reason why it's so popular in Europe, if you look at latitude-wise, Atlanta's here, Europe's up here. Okay, so they actually benefit from daylight year round. In the winter, daylight is for the heat, to heat the home, so to speak. But going back quickly to the glass, if you ever get quizzed on it, it's Cardinal Low E 366. It's treated with a chemical called neat, and that's a silicone and titanium oxide that's treated on the glass. And essentially that means that if a leaf falls on the skylight within a couple of days, it's gone, and the fossil of the leaf is gone too. It's a chemical reaction.
You said silicone and what else?
Titanium oxide.
oxide.
It's a chemical that they spray
Titanium
on
oxide.
it.
That's
And
so fucking cool.
and it also has a 10-year hail breakage warranty. So that's probably the bigger takeaway. But let's be honest. I mean, you see me standing on this, and I got videos on our polycarbonate and our glass. We're firing softballs at it at 70 miles an hour.
I want that job.
That's fucking.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
But here's the thing: if you got hail that's bigger than a golf ball, and it was,
You got an insurance claim
Yeah,
anyway.
that's what I was about to say. Your whole
Yeah.
house is getting fucking pre-built.
but we are the only one. This stuff that I tell you,
That's
we are
incredible.
the only skylight maker that has 20 on the glass. When you use our flashing kit, did y'all already do that job, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you use, and it was a curb mount, was
Yep.
it not? Because of the pitch was low.
Mhm.
So, trying to remember, I do a lot, so I run. it's
You're doing good, pretty good.
Yeah. So when you use the flashing kit properly, I'm going to cover you for 10 years and the homeowner. So nobody else has that. When you run into insurance jobs and the Nationwide guy says just reflash it, here's the thing that I've learned. We're the only skylight company that has a flashing kit. Okay? So if you want my local competition and the other two national guys, they make a pan flash skylight. Okay? So if money is a factor, so to speak, if I remember correctly, can't remember what your sizes were, but I'm just gonna, and it's in the book, but just play along at home. $800 for a D06. That's a deck mount 2x4. Those are the most common. So we're talking 2x4s. I'll erase this in a minute. All right, that's for the flashing kit and the skylight in the shade. That's what you're gonna pay. Then I can't remember if y'all did 2246s, but the weird thing is with the curb mount, I think it's like $620 for the same size curb mount, but you have to build the curb. All right, you have to buy the wood. I mean, the wood nowadays is nothing. $10 for the wood and then 30 minutes of your labor to build the curb, but that's how much you would pay. But what I'm standing on, just so you understand, this is a curb mount. It's the lid of a shoebox, okay? And the blinds come on a tray for a curb mount, which is over there. All right, where I'm going with this is, and not to say that y'all are doing this, QPF, not 4 brand, 2246. The 2x4 in that one in the corner, and I'm off by a few bucks, but it's $670.
And what
Okay.
sizes are these for?
These are 2x4s. I'm just giving you an example of the prices. Now, my local competition for a 2x4 like that with low E glass and no shade, they're gonna run from $575 to $605. Okay, so most roofers in Georgia like the deck mount because you don't have to build the curb and you're ready to go. So where I'm going with this is, because I know you used my product on that last job, and I'm just giving you the example of what you get with me and what you get with them.
The price variation.
Well, not only that, but let's just say it's $600 for the competition. So for $200 more, you're getting the 20-year glass, the 10-year no leak, and 5 years on the shades. Okay, and before, it will happen in the next 15 minutes, you'll ask a question. How long do they last? I told you that the shades started in 2011. The first shades that hit the south were put in my market in Signal Mountain, Tennessee in June of 2012. And actually this time last year, Thanksgiving last year, I got a call for a service call in Chattanooga. They said that they weren't very clear whether the skylights were opening or the shades were opening. But when I got out there, they told me that summer the shades stopped working. So the shades made it 12 years. And it was like our first type model shades. So you know how you improve upon. So it was big and clunky. So that's the only shade that I've had to deal with, and it made it past 5 years. So roughly speaking, if somebody asks, just say they're gonna last 10 to 15 years, but if something happens before 5, we'll honor it. We'll give them a new shade.
They're pretty easy to replace, right? You just take the curve off and.
Well,
take
that's
out
a
the
great
shade.
question, and I've been doing this, and I always keep saying to my boss, if he was here, I've become a big fan of the curve mounts, because
You just take the curve off.
you just take this is how it would come, your 2246s. It's already in the box, it's like this. And when you're doing a curb mount, like I said, 80% are deck mount here, but if you ever run across the Velux curb mount that was installed 5 or 6 years ago, then you can just order, and they want a shade. This is like a new revenue stream for y'all. You can, just climb up on the roof, remove the 6 to 10 screws on the side, and then just drop this in. Now, if it's a deck mount, yes, you can put it in after the fact. The challenge is you're gonna have to get your little giant, you're gonna have to climb your ass up there 20 feet and risk knocking over Mrs. Smith's fine china. And you wanna do it, before 10 in the morning or after 5 o'clock, because if it's the summertime, and even though it's low EQ'd and you got your face up there by the glass, yeah, you're gonna lose some weight sweating. So, but the shade, this is the inside of the deck mount, okay? So you see the drywall grooves here? So this is, and then the shade is on a track. If you want it, and I bring this out, I don't have to worry about you guys. I had to do one of these this week, and I had 3 guys falling asleep, and I had all this stuff in here, and they made me get there. I was flying to get over there, and I was like, guys, respect the fact that I hustled to get over here at 9:30 in the morning after taking my kid to school, all the way over Marietta. They were snoozing, but anyway, so that is that. Now, I left you a copy right there under your phone. Under your phone, make sure everybody's got that. This is the main thing I want you guys to I'll touch on more of our cool stuff in just a second, but for Capital City Roofing,
Is that this one?
yes, that's a guide for you. The 3 things that I needed to help you determine what it is that you got up there and what it is that you need to replace. Number 1, it's real easy. A picture from 5 to 10 feet away. The second thing I need is the outside frame. And the last thing I need, which is it's the hardest to get, but there's ways around it, is the drywall to drywall. That slide that I just, hopefully this will pop back up. I know it went quiet because I wasn't playing with it. Will the TV pop back on, or did it?
There's a remote right there to the left.
As I went silent with it, it probably maybe turn it on, turn it off.
Just to clarify for me, outside frame you mean from the roof?
Yes.
Okay.
So here we go. So here, I know there's better pictures, but this is the first picture I like to see. You know, roughly 5 feet away, guys holding it up. But you see, this way I can zoom it in. See, and I can see that the outside frame, I'm just gonna round up 28.5 inches. That's the width. And please, when I emphasize this, give me the width first. Some people, because there's a difference between a 2x4 and a 4x2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the width. And then the second number is the length. So that's real easy. So right off the bat from this roofer,
Where's the, how long is that, if you zoom in?
what is that?
36 and
About 38.
7.
38.
38, so that's,
So that
okay,
So,
part on the bottom there, that's like flashing.
Yeah, you don't want that. I don't want that.
frame
Good,
to frame.
good question.
Frame to frame.
Yeah, frame. That's why I put frame, not the flash.
The
Right,
outside
yeah.
piece, yeah.
Just from here to here. Now, this one is a little tricky, and I'll go on a side note. This is an old Velux. How old? It's older than 2000. And
The seal's broken.
probably,
See
yeah,
the
you
foam?
can, well,
Yeah.
but that's a roof window. And the reason I know is because it's cut here and here. This is one of the first roof windows in Georgia.
Big pivots.
And, but, you know, and
You can't take it out, it's historical now.
well, many of the people had no idea that some of the first skylights put in the Atlanta market were roof windows, and the homeowners had no idea that they even opened until the day,
That they opened on their own.
yeah, the day that they were getting the skylight for the roof window replaced. So like, holy shit, I didn't even know it opened. So that's the other, okay, so there's that. Let me see if I got it on there. Okay, this is important, just so you understand. The dog tag on the deck mount, one of these says FS on the back,
That
that's
one-
UPF.
That one hasn't
There
moved
you go.
once.
Hit the F, just push it once.
Controlling that one.
Push that button, the up button once, just, you don't have to hold it,
I
up
think
button.
both of those are controlling that one.
Yeah.
Let me see, one, flip it over and one says FS.
This one.
Let me see that, so we get this right.
Oh, cool.
They did that one.
I guess it's a
Can they do
directional
multiple?
thing.
It can,
Okay.
save that 10 minutes from now. There's a dog tag right here, okay?
Oh, inside.
Right there. That tells me everything I need to know about the skylight.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get that, that tells me everything.
Then you don't need measurements. You can get
That's
that.
right.
Because that has,
But
what
you
is that,
guys,
serial
and
number and all that good
listen,
stuff?
you don't,
We only get on the roof if we can see.
well,
the
no,
tag.
you do, but, what I would like, you can take what you just did right there. You can get on your phone when you're on the roof, and you can do this and just zoom in,
Very nice.
and then you can send it to me. So the point of this, what we're doing here, what I want y'all to understand, I tell this to everybody, you give me these three things and I can tell you what to replace it with, okay? Because that's, and I embrace this because there are 1,000 roofers in Georgia. There's probably
There's
more.
more.
There's more than
There's
that.
more than that.
20.
Change. I like to keep it, we'll use 1,000, but you're right, there's more.
You mean certified?
Yeah, there you go.
No, they're not even certified here, but I would say out of that 1,000, there's probably only 200 that will do skylights, okay? Out of the 200, I would say there are less than 80 that do it right. So the opportunity for you guys is just saying, go with, I mean, they pay my bills and I believe in it. Go with the best and go with something that's got the warranty that's gonna cover your back. Because the reason guys hate skylights is because they order, and you pick your poison, they order the wrong size, they install it wrong, 3, they gotta go back out to the house for a 3rd, 4th, 5th trip, and there goes your profit. So my shit, you put it on with a deck or a curb with the flashing kit, you do it right, you don't have to worry about it for another 25 to 35 years.
So you don't need to sell us. I love
Okay,
that.
But I'm just saying, there you go with that. Now, the most important and the toughest one, this is a curb mount. I need, the most important measurement is actually this. If you can't get the dog tag or anything, I need to know what the finished opening measurement is. The drywall to drywall, okay? So just so we're playing along at home, you understand I got the lid off, but if the curb mount was on, that would be the outside frame. All right, this is the outside frame. And just so you understand the nomenclature we use, the verbiage, that would be the outside frame. That's the outside curb. That's the inside curb or rough opening, the hole.
So the drywall.
And then the drywall to drywall. So you understand there are 4 measurements you can give me. Don't be the roofers that are outside of Georgia that, well, man, it's 35 by 27 because they're measuring the flashing.
To be fair, that's exactly what we did it for.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. So, outside frame, outside curb, inside curb, finished opening, or drywall to drywall.
So a finished opening would be the inside of the drywall to the other inside, and
It's
the
the hole.
outside curve
The hole.
is the space
To
between
make
the
sure
drywall.
y'all understand this, because the only reason me and Charlie know, because we just dealt with one. So the installers have to build this frame.
Yes, the wood frame.
Yeah. So we've got the piece that goes inside that frame, but we've also got the piece that goes on the outside of that frame. So with the curve mount, he's got to know the whole dimension in order for that thing to be able to go in there and fit.
So here, this is why I said, pretend this is drywall. I like it. It's trim board that I got at Home Depot 5 years ago and I still use it. So, I need to clean the glass. Next time I go talk to a roofing company, does your glass come out of the box that dirty? No, I'm just jumping up and down on it. So you understand,
Maybe you shouldn't clean it.
you understand now, look, frame, and then curve, and then the inside curve, but notice how I'm on the roof, and I have an idea, so tape measure,
Yeah, go ahead.
just so you understand. Sometimes you don't have to be inside the home to get the drywall. I can just go here, I'm gonna just say, let's just say it's 2.5. You see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Take the tape measure from the outside
Subtract
frame,
5
Subtract the
inches.
2.5.
Subtract 2.5
On
on
each
the other
side.
side.
so it's 5.
Mhm.
So, where am I going with this? I'll do it, I'll show you. This is, cause I get this from,
The outside frame
I
and
get this
drywall
from
to
the
drywall
roofers.
is minus
This
5
is-
inches.
don't, and this is why I do this is why I'm salty and colorful, because I'm trying to help you, and I'm trying not to get the call, you effed me up, you screwed me up. Then what, why, how did I screw you up? Because in 2 hours, the calls start coming in. Brandon, I got a 27.5 by 27.5. What do you got?
Square.
What does that mean? Is it the frame?
Or
Is
is
it
it
the
the-
curb?
Right.
Is it the drywall to drywall? When I started out in this business, the roofer was such a, most of them are, not y'all are great, or jerks, put it politely, and he never give me a picture. He goes, man, just give me that as the rough opening, because they didn't understand, they didn't know rough opening or inside curve. And I was like, well, we don't have, that has to be custom. So that means you gotta wait 30, I can make you any size skylight, by the way, and it would be a curb mount. We're not gonna do deck mount, that's 100 days. Don't even bother wasting my time. I have to have I had an Alabama roofer, so you gotta make me a custom deck mount, it's like 120 days.
It's a long time to cancel.
Yeah, man, it's just, and then the dealer calls me, man, they bailed. When are you gonna give me credit on that? I'm not. Cause I told you, like I'm telling you guys, if it's custom, I ain't taking it back. Alright, so where am I going with this story? So I got him a rough opening and it was 7 inches too big. So on day 35, when he goes out to the job, it's too damn big. It would work, but he was furious. He's like, I'm never using Velux again. And I'm like, you didn't give me the information I needed. Give me the information I need and I can help you. So if I ran the tape measure on this, it's gonna be 27.5 by 27.5, but I want you to understand something. The outside curb is 25.5 by 25.5. That's the outside of this wood. So, what if the, test you here, your curbs are built with 2x material.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really a 2x4? What is it?
It's an inch and a.
Inch and a half by, let's say, 3. So,
3 and 3
3.5.
quarters.
yep, we'll just say 3.5, but inch and a half on the left, inch and a half on the right, that equals 3. So subtract 3 from 25.5 and you get 22.5. That is your, oops,
Inside.
that is your inside curb or rough opening. Okay? Now, drywall is how thick typically?
7/16.
Is it 7/16?
Say half inch. Half inch. Half inch on the left, half inch on the right. And there you go. That is your finished opening or drywall to drywall. Forgive me, big ass difference from 27.5. That's why I said drywall to drywall or finished opening, whatever you want to call it, or the rough opening. You guys are roofers and you're doing replacement, so you're gonna see finished opening rather than a hole.
Can I ask you a asshole roofer question just because I know
Sure.
it's going to happen?
It's Friday.
Would it be lazy, but if we gave you drywall to drywall, have you got everything you need at that point?
Close, but no. I need to know the pitch
Okay.
and I need to know the roofing material.
To be thorough, guys, I would get him every measurement.
Of course. Of course.
But a picture, the 3 things, a picture from 5 to 10 feet away, outside frame measurement, and then the finished opening or drywall to drywall, that's perfect. The picture is great, that tells me a bunch. I'll show you that, let me see if I got anything else. Okay, so why do I have this one here? So this is when you should get excited. Like when I met you guys over there, as soon as I see that, the top, I know that's a Velux, okay? So you should jump for joy, woo, because then all you have to do is just replace the skylight. Why do I mean by that? Because we've been doing this since, in America, let's just say since we came to the South in like the early 80s. Our rough openings have never changed, okay? So we didn't tweak, the DO6 that I erased is 22.5 by, go up a little, 46 inches. It's actually 45 3/4. That's the whole. So, for your knowledge, the rafters in Georgia are what? How far apart? There's
16.
16 or 24.
24.
Yeah.
So when you, a little on the left, a little on the right, 22.5 fits perfectly. The DO6, which I mentioned, we make many different sizes, but that's the curb mount, the curb mount 2x2, curb mount 2x4, deck mount 2x2, deck mount 2x4. Out of all of our sizes, they make up 50% of my sales. Okay, that's why I mentioned the 2x4. All right, so this I know because of the screws on the outside of the cladding. This tells me that this is a deck mount skylight Velux because of the head flashing. And this tells me that this skylight was installed prior to 2010. Y'all will, if I haven't, I thought I did. If I hadn't, I will in the next couple of days. Why is this important to 2010? Because the homeowner's like, don't touch it, it's not leaking. It's, that's the number one concern. The skylight's gonna leak or whatever. And it hasn't leaked and I love it, don't mess with it. But when you re-roof, you've got to take up the flashing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the problem comes in because I'm joking about it, but there's a little truth to it. I want to take the fan to Longhorn this weekend and steaks are $30. So I want to make that's my commission or whatever. I don't want to go buy another flashing kit, so I'm just going to use the old flashing. 90% chance that within 1 year after you walk off the roof with a beautiful Titan Tamco, but you left the skylight up there because Mrs. Smith was insistent on not touching it, the shit's gonna leak. And then you're gonna call me up and yelling at me, you came out to our office and we're being all funny and colorful and just leaking. And then I go out to the job and meet you there because, I'm 99.9% perfect, but I'm not perfect. So I go out there and check it out and I found out that the ding dong picked up the flashing and put it back down. So where does 2010 come in? In 2010, we introduced the Low E 366 glass. And if you notice, this is my deck mount today. And you see the deck mount prior to then. So the flashing kit changed. So you cannot use a DO6 flashing kit from 2025 on the 2008, this was a 17-year-old skylight. You cannot use today's flashing kit with a 2008, 2009, 2010 even, really, skylight. So it has to be replaced, and God forbid, I'm just saying, there's only two options. You either fill the hole, which makes my heart cry. Every Velux rep will cry whenever you fill a hole. Or you replace it with a new skylight. There's no other option.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. You can't.
And I have a letter, if I didn't send it to you before, I thought I did, but if I didn't, I have an insurance letter that you hand to the claims adjuster and say, this is life, this is how it is. But it's a rule of thumb, any skylight maker will tell you that, because the glass we used in between 2001 and to 2009 was Low E squared. And prior to that, it was just Low E. So you're getting a big benefit when you switch out the skylight, because you're getting a shade, better glass, better warranty, all of that.
So whenever we
pause for a second, give me your questions and comments.
So whenever we replace a roof, we should tell them we need to replace the skylight.
Yes.
Or cover the hole. 'Cause you
Don't do
can't-
that. I'll make you cry.
But, so what I was gonna ask is you can't buy an old flashing kit
No,
anymore?
not anymore. We don't have any more. We ran out last 16 months
If it's
ago.
post 2010,
All right, if it was put in 2015, then yes, you can go reflash. So why am I saying this? Because just to keep it simple, like a DO6, okay, 675 for the skylight, 125 for the flashing kit. So if the skylight was put on post 2010, you can reflash. Then you're telling the homeowner, give them the options. I'm saving you.
do we have to get the flashing from you?
No,
Is it-
we all through the dealers. Where did you buy the skylights for the job that you just did? Was it Beacon or?
Oh, I have no idea.
I heard Beacon. That rings a bell.
Well, I would appreciate it in all your skylights. Buy them from wherever you buy your shingles. Buy them from a roofing supplier. That's how I get paid. We sell in Home Depot and Lowe's, but not every one. And I don't.
Is
you
it
can
called
if you
skylight
want to,
flashing?
But I don't get credit for it, so to speak.
What's it called? Is it called skylight flashing?
Yes, skylight flashing.
Okay.
And what differentiates that between, like, let's say, like step flashing?
But that's what it is.
It is
But
just step flashing?
I didn't bring it in with me, I should have. The flashing for this deck mount is you get an ice and water shield. It's about, I'm gonna round up, 10 inches. You run it up the curb,
Mhm.
okay, and then out onto the roof deck.
Mm-hmm.
If you see we'll use the deck mount, the back of the deck mount here, you see there's a there's a seal on it. This goes on the roof deck, so you will not see this on the inside of the home. So this is number one, first layer of protection, the seal.
Ice and water.
Number two is the ice and water. And then the third, and most important, is we have a patented head flashing, and I call it apron.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
just,
then the side tins go up the side. That's it. Okay? And it's an insurance policy. That's why it's sold in two separate boxes. So you can't buy a deck mount. And because this happens, it won't happen to y'all. It happens several times a year. The dealer won't remind them to get a flashing kit. So they'll nail this down and it starts leaking in a month or two, and then I get up there and, you know, it's like there's no. So that's why I always like to talk to you guys directly, because the dealer reps, and I love them, and there's some real good ones, there's some bad ones, so they're just order takers and they're not asking the right questions. So I like talking, you know, getting it from me to you so you understand. Give me a couple more, and then I got a few more things and I'll be done. But I want to answer, when I leave here, y'all need to feel comfortable and understand that it's a new revenue stream for you guys and all that.
So, let's say someone's got so I'm assuming this would be custom. If it was, instead of 2x4, if it was 4x2, so
Great question.
4 foot across, 2 foot tall.
Okay. Why I like the curb? Because the curb mounts can be turned sideways because it's the lid of a box. So for example, they were 2246s on this job. On that
I think so, yeah.
All right. So that means it's 2246. The hint is 2246. Okay. Let's say that job was a 4x2. What would you do? I'd still tell you, you can go buy, well, because now we have shades on it. You could take a 2246, turn it sideways, but then you're like, well, Brant, the flashing kit has a 2 foot head and
on the side.
so what you do is you go get yourself a 4x4 curb mount flashing kit. So that's how you do it. So yes, curb mounts can be turned sideways.
Okay.
The QPFs can too, but they now have shades on them. And understand this, this is minor.
Be a horizontal shade.
And it'll work for a year, but that dog's gonna blow up because it's, man, I'm supposed to go up, down, not sideways.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna warranty it.
Yeah.
Now, the QPFs can be turned sideways though,
Okay.
and you see the white sticker on there. So if I'm competing with an Atlanta competitor, that's what they sell without the shade, okay? But I'm not giving you a 10-year no leak guarantee because you're just putting this in a bed of sealant and nailing it down.
Yeah, retro.
I'm a NASCAR guy. It's like a Chase Elliott pit stop. So I just keep it simple. To put a pan flash skylight down is like 30 minutes. To put a curb or a deck down is an hour. So I don't want you. So what I tell all the roofers, whether you're a boutique roofer, whether you do 2,000 roofs or 200 roofs a year, when it comes to skylights, I need you to downshift, gear down, focus up, because the problem is these turn and burn guys aren't paying attention, and I want to compete with the locals, but I want Velux because of the shade, and they'll buy a 2x4, turn it sideways, and then a year from now I'm going to get a call from the homeowner, my shade size. And then I go out there and it's like click, 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 because it's going left to right instead of up, down. So don't be that way. Just slow down and let them know you're going to get the job done. Now, with a roofing supplier, whether it's ABC, SRS, CRS, Q, QAnon, I'll call them, you know, I love QXO. They're good people. Anyway, the roofing suppliers, bottom line is if they don't have it in stock, if they order on Monday, it's going to be in their hands Friday, okay? So y'all aren't going to do this, but you got these other roofers who are doing this just-in-time stuff because I'm waiting. I'm not kidding. I've been doing it long enough. My phone's going to blow up here in a little bit. Help, help, he's on the roof. They didn't order my skylight in time. So just know that it takes, just plan on 4 to 8 days for the skylight to arrive to the dealer's office. So wherever you buy your shingles, you know, they can order your skylights. So there's that. Which leads me, let me clean some of this up.
I have one question about the
Keep
blinds. So you said on the curve mount you could turn it sideways, but then the blind would still be going sideways.
Well, that's right, but if you look in the price book, this year, we came out with a 4622 skylight, a curb mount. So that means that the shade is 4 feet wide, 2 feet.
Okay.
So we have all that. Now, I just touch on 2 things, and I want all your questions and comments. Little things. I can do custom, and everybody's sort of drifting away from that now. It took a long time because of that guy I told you, 27 by 27 and a half. When you do standard, the benefit is I give you the flashing kit, I give you the shade. Where else was I going with this? It'll come back to me in a minute. But know this, deck mounts, why you had to do the curb on the other job, because the pitch was too damn low. Deck mounts are 312.
3, not 4?
3 or higher. I would rather it be 4. I haven't had any issues yet. When I take my pitch guide and I lay it on the glass, and if anywhere it says 2.9 after 3 measurements, I'm not covering your butt. Okay, so the pitch has to be 312 or higher, preferably 3.3 is what I like.
Anything under his curb mount?
Yes.
Okay.
Curb mounts curb mounts are great because you guys could actually back there, get you a miter saw, and you can just cut the curbs, do it yourself. Why else do I like the curbs? Walk away with your marker. Let's say it's a 2x2. All right, you're on the roof, you see a bubble. Okay, follow along. I know you got a ton of stuff that y'all sell and do. When there is a bubble over a porch, that is not in the rafter, or whatever the rule is, 1624. You can throw a rafter every 27 inches, it doesn't matter. Okay, so you see roughly a 2x2 bubble in the patio. Bubbles are ancient technology. Velux makes bubbles, but we consider that for Home Depot warehouses, things like that. But prior to the Olympics in Atlanta, a lot of people have bubbles. So you're going to see, so that's a Mrs. Smith, your roof is fine, but I mean, you got to get rid of those bubbles because that's some ancient technology, and the energy efficiency is poor because there's no argon gas. The bubbles color over time. Where am I going with this? Okay, 22.5 by 22.5. That is our standard, that's that curb mount right here. But, so that means that you guys would go build the outside curb, and you're gonna run the tape measure on it, and it'll be 25.5 by 25.5. Why, where am I going with this? Why do I like curb mounts? Because curb mounts, Velux, give you wiggle room, so, and our flashing kit will still work. If you kick it out, instead of 25.5 by 25.5, you can do it at 26 by 26. You can make it a little bit bigger and still use our flashing kit. See the wiggle room I'm giving you? So that covers your butt. When you're on a porch that's got a bubble, and if it's 212, you would use our curb mount. But just to be sure, you could make the curb a little wider. You could actually go to 26.25 and still use our flashing kit. You follow me? You can't do that with a deck mount. You can do that with a curb. And you can go back there, go to Home Depot when it rains, just load up at the Windward Parkway Home Depot, a bunch of 2x4s, and you can just cut and make curbs all day. I had a guy at Division 7 years ago. He made 2x2 and 2x4 curbs and sold them for $25 and $35 just on a whim. The dealer manager was like, whatever, you can keep all the profit yourself. So he built 10 curbs of each side. He sold them all in a month, you know, and it's just a wood curb, and then you just tow it in or Simpson L bracket it in, however you guys did it. But the takeaway here for you guys is a curb, Velux curb mount, standard size. It's got wiggle room, so you can make it wider. And our flashing kit, you can't go past, let's just say 26 inches, but you can make it a half inch wider in length and be good. And then you're covered, because that's the number one thing. I got to cover the hole with a standard product with a flashing kit. The blind is great, but that's gravy. The main thing is I want a skylight that's not going to leak and it's guaranteed. That's what makes Velux Velux. So curb mounts, this is where I was sort of going. Deck mounts are 312 and higher. If I do a curb mount on a slope that's say 912 or higher, you can, but you need to put a cricket 4 feet above, because on a curb mount we have a head flashing, but on a deck mount head flashing, the head flashing comes up over this, okay? The curb mount, the head flashing comes up over, so to speak, up the curb. Where am I going with this? If you're on a 10-12 roof and you've got a curb mount,
That water's gonna run over the
it could,
skylight.
it could. And that's why we always say build a cricket, just a water diverter.
Mhm.
So that's what I would do. So curb mounts are good on low pitches. Our flashing kits are only good for curb mounts on shingled roofs, so you know you can't go below 2 shingled. For example, just bragging a little bit, but like Dr. J and his cousin, y'all are young, y'all probably don't even know who Dr. J is. Hopefully you guys do. Basketball player?
Philadelphia 76.
That's right. He had a house over by Heritage Golf Club, and he designed it all himself. This is where people get into trouble, whether it's Dr. J or Joe Blow. Like, I designed the whole, his porch was bigger than this, about 2 of these, and he dropped in 6 of our solar venting skylights. This is where I was gonna go when I lost my thought there. When you do standard size deck and curb, 2x2, 2x4, 4x4, not only can you get a skylight that doesn't open like these, but you can get one that manually opens, electric vent, and solar vent. So before COVID, he put in 6 of these, and his pitch was, I don't know how he shingled it, but he shingled it, it was 1.5 by 12. And he wanted us to look at his calibrated shades, so which is kind of hard. So you get ready, just understand that, not all the time, but I'd say 20% of the time the homeowner's like, the blinds are moving down too slow or too fast. I mean, I can't control everything. And so Dr. J was wanting to get these to sync up where, you know, they all hit the top at the same time, and we tried, but we couldn't do it, and he was bitching. And then he started, you know, laying down the claims like homeowners do. Well, that's unacceptable, I want it for free. And then my boss stepped in, and he didn't say it this way, he's much more professional. He's like, Hoss, man, these don't even need to be up here, because you got this on a, 8 degree or less pitch. It's like, I don't even know how you shingled this, because it was like 7, 8, 9 degrees with shingles. And it's like, the reason why you can't do a deck mount on a low pitch is because the water's not, on the heavy rain, water is gonna get all around this, it's fine. But when a heavy rain and a low pitch, water's gonna backflow, and eventually it's gonna find its way in. So,
It just sits there.
so that, the last thing, and then I'll take 2 more, or a couple more questions. All right, I'm already at 60 minutes. Deck mounts. Brand, you lied to me. I got a Velux deck mount we put in 2022, and son of a gun, it's leaking. You just came out here because you like to hear yourself talk. What's the problem with, I got a Velux that's effing up. What are the 90, the 3 things that come up? Wrong pitch, what I just told you. What's the other one? Oh, Rubber gasket. Last thing, make a note of this, guys. VeluxUSA.com. Sorry for the scribble. On YouTube, Velux USA, all one word. I got 300 videos on our YouTube page. 300. Broken down into chapters. One of the chapters, I call it, how to put these suckers in. Doesn't say it that way, you know what I mean. 10-minute videos in English and Spanish. Okay, how to put a deck, how to put a curb, how to put a sun tunnel in. Okay, in there you will see that at the bottom of these deck mounts, we have a rubber gasket. I'm not going to take the cladding off, but maybe you can feel it. Put your hand right here. See where my fingers are? You feel that rubber gasket? There's a rubber gasket. The bottom apron has got to go under this. You cannot put the bottom apron on the outside. So from a side view, this is how the bottom apron goes under the gasket. A lot of roofers do that. They leave the gasket and they push the bottom apron right there. You see that? You got a V. Not in the movie V for Vendetta. That's a problem in 2 years. Because what happens? The Grand Canyon gets full of water. So it don't happen in 6 months, but it happens in a couple of years. Over time, the water builds up, gives up, and goes right down through the drywall. So you got to make sure the rubber gasket. We got a big old yellow sticker right here in the middle that basically says, hey, dumbass, make sure that this gasket goes over the bottom apron. It doesn't say, hey, dumbass. I know you're filming me, so please just maybe bleep a lot of that out. So rubber gasket. Then the third thing that I've been running into, most important, gentlemen, and this is where a lot of roofers are screwing up. We are a dry install. You understand?
We can't do it in the rain?
That's a good one. Hey man, I got a skylight leak and I don't want to pay for a new one. Y'all come out here and do something. And what do y'all do? You put a bunch of sealant all over it. Don't you do that. Don't put sealant on my stuff. Okay? The apron flashing on the bottom and up at the top. I got a picture. I got to get that. Don't put nails in the, I don't want exposed nails on the bottom flashing.
Sure.
Okay?
You see that?
Because it will leak.
It just back those up under the.
Well, yeah, like this doesn't have it, but just so you, actually, this was down here. They didn't do it, and I got a million pictures on here. So let me see if I could find it.
He just saw it at the one we ran.
A ton of stuff.
He got declined for financing, but he had his exposed nails on his skylight.
Oh, yeah.
He's saying don't seal that. Well, how did they have exposed nails in the first place? Like you're supposed
I'm
to.
gonna get to it in a minute. Okay, don't be this guy who can tell me what's wrong with this. This
Rubber
just
gasket.
happened. No.
Something tells me that shade is not
Where it should
sized for the
be.
window. One.
So I had a
The
roof
shade's
roof-
upside down.
Yes. So where the tray there, a roofer, that's a 2x6. That's a FCM 2270. 2270 2x6. This is a 212 pitch.
That's what I was about to say. It looks pretty flat.
Yeah, it's a 212 pitch, and he had never done this before. And again, I hear about this after the fact. So the fire's already started and burned half the house down before I get out there. So I
it's
get
a
out
deck
there.
mount on a
The
212.
homeowner called Velux and said, my blinds are working, but they're making a clicky clack sound. So I get out there. So the roofer thought that when he bought the curb mount, and you guys saw this on the job, and then this is also in the box, he's like, oh, Velux already made the curb. So he just put this down over the hole. That's what you see there.
Oh my God.
So no flashing and upside down, because he
down.
thought this was the curb.
That's
So it's an upside down deck
It's
mounted.
upside down, and this was 2 months ago when we had that drought, so thank God it didn't rain.
So that's an upside down deck mounted.
That's an upside down curve
This
mount.
is solar. If you guys ever go back and look at one of your
Yeah,
jobs,
so
this is solar. It should face the sun.
Right.
It's an
So
upside
the
down
beauty
curve.
of it is, here it is. This is what I'm talking about.
Upside down, inside
Yeah.
out curve mount.
But,
That's
And he didn't build a curve.
So this is actually a curve mount, okay? They did not use our flashing kit. Okay, this is a curve mount, how do I know? Because of the corner keys here, see my finger?
Yeah.
So you see that in the bottom down here, okay? So another corner cutting move by the roofer.
Yeah, but he saved a
bought
ton of
He
money.
bought our 4x4 and he didn't use, I don't know what he did, but some of these are, look at that, see, boom, rusted. Where's the other one?
Nothing.
Nothing. So if you're gonna, I don't want you to, but if you do, don't nail many, and if very few or none at all, if you do, you gotta put sealant on it, okay?
Of course.
So that's why I said it's a dry install. So when you do Velux, and I get a call, I got a Velux, I got you now, you're gonna take me to the Caribbean like the Tamco rep does for the dealers and buy me lunch and all that, I got you. Those are the three things. So the wrong pitch and the gasket, and then it's a dry install. All right. We do sun tunnels,
Yeah,
the
what are
light
those?
tubes. Those are great. And this is it. And then you can always, I need you to text me. Hey, Brant, appreciate your funny talk. And give me the three things and I'll help you. You know, but also send me your email address. So there's that. Sun tunnels, last
Okay.
story.
I see.
We have 10-inch and we have 14-inch wide. Why am I telling you this? This is in the south, these are big, they should be bigger, but it's a way you can leverage a job. If you're competing against, and I'll use them, because this is what happened to them in 2014. Finley was getting a job down by Howell Mill Road, near Fellini's, Howell Mill. And it's a ranch home, and a little roofer, call him a boutique, he does 50 to 75 a year, that's it. You know, they do whatever, 1,000, 2,000. So he realized he was competing against them. He got the job because he comped 2 sun tunnel installs for free. So he comped, a sun tunnel is $400, and it takes, if you know how to do them, the first couple you do, it's 2 guys, 2 hours. So 4 labor hours, okay? Once you get to number 6, 7, and 8, one guy can do it in 3.5 hours, okay? So he comped 2 of those to get the $20,000 roof. This is 10 years ago, so today that would be a $30,000 roof. I'll eat the, say, $1,000 it would be, tag, tax, title on a sun tunnel install. I'll eat $2,000 to get the 30 grand. And that's how he did it. You guys can do it too. They're easy to do. You get a pizza box. I know it sounds silly. Where's he going with a pizza box? So you just cut it out 10.5 and 14.5. And then another one, you get a wire coat hanger. You youngins probably don't know we had wire coat hangers back in the day. You find one and you stretch it out, and then you, Mrs. Smith, where would you like your sun tunnel? Get your pencil, get on your little step ladder, then take your wire hanger with a hammer and you tack it through the drywall far enough so it goes through the ceiling and the insulation. Crawl up in the attic, find it, make your way over and line it up with the rafters, right? In between the rafters, then you take a 3-inch nail, you nail it. When you line it up with the hanger, line it up and then nail it up there. So when you get up on the roof, you see a nail coming through, and then you get your sawzall, your recip saw, and you cut the hole and boom.
Are they always circular or are they
Yes.
sometimes square?
Well, good one. They are circular, but we do have square, like say 20 by 20.
Mm-hmm.
They're more expensive.
Okay.
So we have little domes, but all this stuff is on the back side of the home. Okay, most in Atlanta, that's when the HOAs came in and they just said no skylights on the front. They don't want to see it. So we're out in the country. So all this stuff's on the back, so you could do a bubble. I like bubbles, especially the TMR. No quiz on that, but that means that it's not sloped where like I'm on the back of the house here and the bubble is facing this way. At TMR, the bubble is facing up. So that means it's getting all the sun all the time. It's perfect for ranch homes. So there's that. I'm done with that. I know I've shot through a lot of stuff. Final questions or comments from you guys? That's good.
Covered good.
You've already had- So we feel good. We feel better. We understand.
I think the only thing. Oh, go ahead.
So rule of thumb is curbs is like the default.
No, low pitch. If you're
No, we
under
could do over 3.3 pitch. You need cricket. So, right?
On a curb mount,
On a curb mount, over a 3.3 pitch.
over 8. Curb mounts can go, I'm just telling you from experience, and I think they put it in the instruction book. If I put a curb mount on an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, even up to 20, I want a cricket right here.
Would you prefer a curb mount with a cricket or just a deck mount?
No, I would want a deck mount.
So over 3.3, we should recommend.
Yes.
Over a 3.3
Yes. And I
pitch.
want you
You
in
want a deck mount.
standard, because standard sizes, the flashing kit, the blind, and, no, I'm sure I'm missing something else, but the flashing kit, because of the warranty. I don't do custom flashing, okay? That was a problem, y'all won't have to deal with that, many roofers, just custom make me one. A custom is roughly $200 more than the closest standard size. It's 30 to 40 days to get, and there's no flashing kit, and lastly, I'm not taking the shit back, because y'all can't do it. Now, for Velux deck mounts, we have a specific, most of your jobs are shingle, we have the EDL, it's in the price book, you'll see it. That's the flashing kit for shingle roofs. But if you have a tile roof, we have a tile flashing kit. For a metal roof, for deck mount, we have a metal roof flashing kit. However, I would go with a curb mount and use the metal material, because the apron on them is gun barrel gray and it's malleable or flexible. And I get a lot of people calling me up after the install. The skylights are performing well, they look great, but it looks like they don't say it this way, but just so you understand, it looks like ass on my green roof. You understand? Because you have 4, and then you have an apron that's gray and it's folding, and it just stands out. Like, they all know where I live from a half a mile away, because they could see the Velux flashing kit on the bottom. So I always go with, I recommend a curb mount on a metal roof. Even though there's no flashing kit for that, you would have to, but I'll warranty you on the glass.
Now, so if we did have somebody that wanted it custom, it'd be 30 days to make it?
On average, yeah, but say 40.
Okay. The thing, and the reason I bring it up, guys, if you guys do run into somebody that wants a custom job, we want to set proper expectations of 30 to 60 days, but we also want to get 100% upfront deposit with no refund. They have to understand that what you want is custom. We're building it for you. If you decide to cancel when this thing started production, we can't just turn around and sell it to somebody else.
But you see here is an example of how you can measure the drywall without having to go inside. Because you can put the tape measure there and you can run it right to there. Not here, but you just run it right here. And then you can just text me, hey, Brant, here are the pictures and here are the measurements. And then this is all I need. But I would like not, a lot of guys just send me this. I like the, oh, and by the way, this is the wave. Home Depot, go into Home Depot in the blinds section. Everybody's getting blinds now. They're gonna pre-install, they have solar powered blinds for your vertical windows. Home Depot's selling. See, at $952, that does not include installation. So that's another $1,000. So somebody wants a leveler, solar powered shade, it's $2,000, Home Depot will love
I'll
to
just
set you up.
pull
So
the
everybody's
string.
like, no, I want the shades. Well, this is the wave, it's coming. Last thing, and hopefully, that's not it. This, you guys remember, not on my remotes, because they're 2 years old. Watch, my phone. Your skylights you put in have this. You need to remind the homeowner. You see that QR code? So this is, we're taking it off of Capital's hands. You did the install, you're good. Mrs. Smith, here you go. They were selling their house, but watch, you scan that QR code and it goes straight to Velux to register the product. It's gonna ask for their name, number, address, email address, and they already know what you got. You got a 2x4 deck mount. But then you're asking there, when you scroll down, how many you had, how many did Capital City put in? Well, they put in 3. So that means you got 3 of these remotes. So Velux will say, would you like one remote? A universal remote? Yeah, I would love that. Or do you have Wi-Fi in your home? We have an app. We'll sell it directly to them without, you don't have to get involved. And we'll sell it to them for $40. Okay, if you look in the price book, how much?
Okay, 161 for the
Through the
app.
dealer. So then the dealer might get ballsy and charge you 170. So Velux is selling it to the homeowner once they register the product through the QR code for $40, and then everything's good. Now homeowners will call you later to complain or about something, but with this, going forward, when you guys put a Velux in, before you install it, make sure before you nail it on the roof, give it one up down, okay? You've got this recorded. Take it out of the box, let it sit for like 5 to 10 minutes, okay? There's already, there's cycles, I call them up downs. There's about 5 to 10 up downs already built into the blind. So it's dark, like, Alaska in January, no sun, but it'll have 10 up downs in it. But we want it to wake up on its own, even if it's a cloudy day, just get exposure. And before you nail it down, just give it a once. See that picture I showed you with the upside down curve mount? There were red clips, so the dude didn't even take the clips out, you understand? So when the homeowner called and said, they're working, but it's making a click, 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 and I didn't see it until I got out there. So
Sounds
he not
like-
only did it upside down, but he didn't even take the red tabs
Did you take
to,
the fucking
Our
price tag
PMs
off of
need
it,
to
too?
know
Right.
this,
so,
and our installers need to know this.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for us to know it, but
yeah, that's
The
why you need
installers
to have
and the
your
PMs need to know
installers
all
on
that.
here.
Mhm.
Yeah, look at that golf swing. That's from Neri.
so are you gonna do another
That's
class
a-
with the?
Nary, that too I could.
Are you
think
gonna do
of the
another
other
class
day.
with the Julians of the world?
Opposite 6 o'clock swing.
Okay, you
Oh,
see,
man.
you see
I
how,
mean, we should,
Oh, there's
right?
clips on the inside.
Julians
Well, yeah,
crew,
you can see it
Melrose
right
crew,
there.
Like they should be in there.
but you see how this is packaged?
Mhm.
See, and then I get the call, and you're the salesman. So the installers aren't here.
Nope.
But here's the deal, man. Y'all, hillbilly call me up. Y'all didn't put a damn remote in there. Bullshit. It's right
It's
there.
inside.
It's on it. It's taped to it. Okay, we do it in the factory. That's the last thing we do is we install it. We got like a crew of 4 to 8 guys at the end of the line. Hey, brother. That's my fraternity brother. they install it and give it 2 cycles and then box it up, okay? That's a remote. A remote is always with the skylight. So if you get 3 of these in a home, there's gonna be 3 remotes. So don't call me, you guys won't, sorry for the sternness, but I get a call a week from a roofer because Bob from another country barely speaks English, just, threw away everything. So going back to my thing, gear down. Tell the boys with skylights, slow it down. This ain't turn and burn. You know what I mean? Maverick, turn the need for speed.
Yeah.
I know it. When it comes to skylights, you're gonna have to downshift and slow down and do it right, or you're gonna get called. And then if I go out to the home, like I got to next week during the holidays, because a roofer installed 2 VCSs, vented curb solar, 2 on a home outside of Auburn and Tuskegee. And the lady called Velux and said, well, the blinds work great. Remember, the blinds come with everything. But the skylight doesn't open. Both of them don't open. This is installed in May 15th. So, you're not opening them every day, so she just found out. Where am I going with this?
It's not
He didn't plug it in. There's a solar panel on the bottom for our vented, and there's a wire, and the solar power that charges the operator on the inside. Dude didn't even plug it in. So I called the dude. Can you meet me there? No, man. So I was like, guess what, Hoss? If I find out that you didn't plug it in, I mean, I love you. I appreciate your business, but I'm going to throw you under the bus if you start bad-mouthing me because you didn't do your job. Because you didn't slow down and read the directions. It's not hard. So, there you go. And you got my number. I erased it, but you have my number, 404-772-6261. Text me with the 3 things that I need. Text me if you call me and I don't have you in my system, it's going to go to voicemail. I'm just saying because I go from the Mississippi River to Augusta, Georgia. I got dealers, architects, remodelers, builders, and roofers. You guys are my core though. You're 75% of my business. I talk to the architects because I got to get them get the apple from the tree. You know what I mean? I got to plant the seed. So I run around to like Auburn, Mississippi State, Georgia Tech, Kennesaw State, talking to their architects. Because this is the wave of the future.
Put more skylights in these.
Absolutely, because it's energy efficient and it's the most popular room in the house, by the way. If you put a couple skylights in, even if they're old bubbles, you'll find out over time, most people congregate there because we need vitamin D for our skin. Why did all the kids, I know I'm being recorded, but all the kids during COVID were all jacked up, screwed up, and thinking they were something else? Because their ass was inside all the time, face on the phone. That's why we need daylight. I had a professor who transferred to Georgia, and his wife had depression, and the doctor prescribed skylights in a sunroom. Literally, he put in 3 MO6s. 30 M is the width, 06 is the length. She had 3 in her bonus room upstairs above a garage. She was supposed to be in there from October to April 1st, at least an hour a day for sunlight exposure. So it's a good thing. So there you go. I'm done. Thank you.
3 things he needs. What's the first thing?
Picture from 5 feet
Picture,
away.
outside frame, drywall, drywall.
That's the main thing, yes.
What's the second thing he needs?
Outside frame.
Third thing?
Drywall.
Asterisks. If you can't for some reason get it, give me the exterior glass measurement.
From
Yeah, but I
You
want
can't
you
get
from
the-
here to here if you can't get the drywall. Because I need 2 numbers to sort of try and figure out what you got.
you try to
But a
square it up.
picture from 5 to 10 feet away will tell me Am I looking at a bubble? Am I looking at a local competition, or am I looking at an old Velux? Remember that yellow circle I put there? So that's when you jump for joy, because then you know, that's what I was
Because then you
saying,
can
our
look at
rough
the same.
openings have never changed.
Yeah.
So I don't even need the dog tag, because once you give me the outside frame, I know exactly what it is.
So the standard's 2446? 24.
So to speak, yeah, a DO6 would be
That's what we gave. We gave
24
glass.
by 48.
Oh, I gave
on the
both.
outside frame.
Do you remember I took the outside, the
Maybe
glass
the
to
third
glass,
time.
and the.
Maybe the third time we went back, we got.
Well, I went
Right,
up there
you
with
got
him and measured
these,
it.
I
Took
even
pictures.
left you another thing on,
I got everybody.
the blinds, for the blinds, but one hard copy for the office. I've had a few this year, not many, but if the blind isn't working for some reason, here's a 10-step little guide. It's real easy. So you save it here, okay?
Yep.
And again, we'll honor it. This is we've been doing this, and I want y'all to feel comfortable, so we're never gonna leave you hanging,
Who wants to do the training for the installers?
We need someone who can speak Spanish.
I'll call Nick.
Well, look, again, I told you, if they go on YouTube, it's there, but they just need to know, in the next year, I'm gonna come back October, November, December for you guys. You bring your head PM in, and we'll go from there. So he understands. Because if y'all are doing 300, you're gonna see about 50 to 70 skylights. And you wanna make sure that you're only out there one time and you're not making return trips.
What's the gear button? On the
Great
remote?
question. Look at my eyes are bad. You see?
What am I looking at?
There's two
There's a
square-
little
oh, is it
gear
the other
and then
side?
Two squares,
Yeah,
yeah.
the 2 square and the gear button.
What are
And then
those?
you just stick well, you can pop this open. I mean, there's batteries in there.
Oh,
So that's a, you put to a toothpick or a paper clip and you push it one time.
the paperclip?
Yeah, that's what that's for. Now, look, that's just a worst case, comet headed towards Earth. But, well, I shouldn't say that because we've had 1 or 2 of these blind issues this year, but that's the step list. It works. So we haven't had any issues, but if there is one, that's your top 10 list of what to do. So there we go.